got this all done. Only had maybe about 20 minutes of working over here to do, finish this up. Then we're gonna go way over there on this side of them clump of trees and work over there. And not entirely sure if we're gonna get that all done today, but we're gonna hopefully try, so that way we can move on across the road tonight. So I know I started going that way and coming back, but I'm thinking maybe if I go this way, I won't have to look into the sun. I'll be looking off to the side. Line the hood ornament up with an object and just go. Got a feeling going this direction will be much better. So a little bit about this field that I'm in. This is the 4th year that we've farmed this field. This is a 100-acre. Now that we have cleared 10 acre of woods, brush, and things that will keep a farmer from doing his job, we took and had a gentleman come in with, he had a D8 dozer. It used to be our dozer. He bought it from us and had one of them Terex cutoffs, I guess you would say, where he had a case quad track hooked to a Terex haul truck dump body. He cut the cab and the articulating hitch off of it, and he had that behind a case quad track, and that's how he moved the brush. Some of it he dumped it back in that corner back there, and some of it he dumped over there. A lot of it I think he was just able to push with a dozer and make time that way, but that I remember working that last spring. Let me tell you, that was rough. If this 7810 had better tires on it, it'd be a good tractor, but it doesn't. So yeah, yeah, just took the dozer and pushed all the brush up here. Like I said, some of it he hauled back here with that Terex body and that case quad track, and just dumped it. And now it's my turn to beat my brains out, but it is what it is. Just gotta go a lot slower over the rough ground. It'll get smooth eventually. It'll just take some time. Now mind you guys, this was the original field where you see the corn stalks. What it was, the tree line used to come out right at the corner there where you see the blade of dirt. And then it went that way where you see the blade of dirt. And then it stopped up that way a couple more 100 foot. This is all new ground to us. Well, second year farming this piece. If there weren't these stupid little jogs here and there to work around and everything, I would just, you know, this would just be one nice big square or one nice big open field, and I wouldn't have to doink around with, you know, little jogs here or there, and I could really make some time. But that's not how the field is laid out. It's laid out with oil wells everywhere and tanks and you name it. It was planted here. We did not plant the oil wells here. Okay, so I made my next pass back. I'm gonna do this end real quick, so that way I do not forget about it. And then start my way back there again. I just wanted to get something established. I know the Salford ain't the best thing to use to move dirt, but it's what we got out here. This is where the field used to stop originally. We used to farm it going this way. We done changed direction. Now, since that we done clear cutting and got rid of the trees, that way we don't have to screw around taking the grain head off, because the grain head will not fit between the trees and the railroad tracks way out there. Had to come all the way around, put the grain head on just to cut the backfield of beans back here when this whole thing was beans. Okay, now it is so much nicer having just to not take the grain head off to move fields like you're supposed to. It is just now a skosh before lunchtime, and I'm at the halfway point. How, you might ask? I have no clue. Wow, did John Denning just have some eye-opening callers through the 11, 12 o'clock lunch hour on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Holy crap. Wow. There was one lady called in just a little bit ago. She was a colored lady. Okay. And this was even eye-opening to me. She said, I will not be voting for Donald Trump. And John Denning's like, why? You know? Why are you not voting for Donald Trump? Because I don't like what he, you know, what can he do for me? You know, that's the only reason why I'm gonna be voting for Biden, is what she said. Because he can do a lot for me. Not once in the whole 20 minutes, I believe she was on the air, did she say, I do not like Trump because of this country. She did not say that once. What has happened to America that, you know, we're so self-centered and it's all about me? What can the president do for me? How can the president, you know, help me? And that's why she said that she's going to be voting for Biden, a Democratic, freeloading, loving, elderly old coot that can't even tie his shoes. I mean, what in the world is happening? I mean, yeah, I know Trump has a mouth, but you know what? He is a politician. He knows what he's doing, and he says what he means, and he's gonna get done what he says he's gonna get done. Did he raise inflation to the point where, you know, Americans are hardly able to afford, you know, their homes and property and all that? Not under Trump. Did oh, I'm going over rough ground, the ends here, working these off finally. Did you know, did Trump raise inflation? No. Biden sure as hell did. Because Biden's a Democrat. He wants everything for free. And he hates America. I hope and pray that he gets out of office and Trump gets back in where he belongs. And hopefully something will get done about this whole gobbledygook of a situation that we're in. Because this is getting ridiculous. Oh, darn rough ground. But, you know, we just gotta pray and keep the faith. The last piece across a ditch, then we'll go way on the other side of the road. We're making good time. It is only Scotia after 2:30. I love when Trump opens his mouth.
The illegal immigration that be taken care of better than the people that have been in the country that are desperate for jobs. Sure. Now you can't get a mortgage. If you want to pay 8 or 9%, you still can't get them. And we had no inflation. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in history. This is, everybody said, this isn't me, this is everybody. We had the greatest, we had no inflation. Today your inflation's so high, it doesn't matter. If you make money, it doesn't matter. It eats you alive. Inflation is what they call a country buster. You go back 200 years, 300 years to countries with inflation, they got busted. Ask Germany, how was inflation many, many years ago destroyed the country? It is a country buster. And we have record horrible inflation. And now it's getting worse. And now they think they're not going to be able to cut interest rates because it's getting worse. You don't hear that. And they don't talk about it. And the fake news, these people right over here, they don't want to talk about it. But it's getting worse. But then Biden came in and unleashed mayhem on our economy, just like he unleashed mayhem on our border. The border, there's never been anything like this, a border like this. There's never been anything in the world. There's never been a border like this in the history of the world. Using COVID as an excuse, crooked Joe Biden launched the greatest confiscation of middle-class wealth in the history of our country. It's middle-class wealth. He confiscated it. In 3 years, Joe Biden and his party stole trillions of dollars from hardworking Americans and gave it their political, and he gave it all to their cronies in Washington, their heirs-to-be. He gave so much money away, and the Green New Scam, it's the worst scam in the history of our country. They spent $2 trillion, the Green New Scam, the greatest scam in history. They spent $2 trillion on their so-called American Rescue Plan, which wasn't rescuing this country. How is the rescue plan doing? Trillions of dollars wasted, which Obama's economic advisors called the original sin. They actually called it, his advisor said that was the original sin that led to rampant inflation. That's where it began. They spent another $1 trillion on their misnamed Inflation Reduction Act, and then they admitted it really wasn't meant to reduce inflation. They call it the Inflation Reduction Act. Remember when a certain senator said, I'll approve it, and that was the end of his career? I won't tell you his name was Manchin. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was the end of his career. He was popular. He was getting more and more popular. He started out not so popular for many years. Then he became popular because he was rejecting all of this madness. And then for some reason, he agreed to sign a couple of things that were not good. And it didn't work out too well. $1.2 trillion for their fake infrastructure power. And he had a package of infrastructure.